which we'll see right now. See the California Bear pop up right there. Launch mode, and let's go. Oh my gosh. Oh, that one was painful. Everyone, welcome back to Allcarnews, and today we're here with the all-new Lucid Air Touring. Now this sits right below the Grand Touring and above the Pure, and let's take a full tour and review and drive of this all-new Lucid Air. Okay guys, we are here with the Lucid Air Touring. Now this one, like I said earlier, just sits right below the Grand Touring and above the Pure. 620 horsepower, dual motor, all-wheel drive as well, and it is a gorgeous beast. Now we do have the Stealth Edition here today. At this test event though, it ran out of battery because everyone was driving it so much, so it is charging right now. But nonetheless, this is the same vehicle, so let's take a full tour and review of the Lucid Air. Now, I have seen the Lucid Air in person multiple times, but this is my first time really getting out on the road with it alone and driving it. And it is a gorgeous vehicle, and it definitely gets a lot of looks and attention. A lot of people aren't super big fans of the design, and I understand that, but I think it's a really unique and groundbreaking shape that Lucid is really kind of capturing, even though it might not be everyone's tastes. Now, the Airs have been pretty documented well already, so I'm just going to point at some really cool features for you guys. Out back, we have this full LED light bar, which has this really cool kind of 3D depth effect, which I think looks really nice. We also have the Lucid badge kind of etched on the side as well, which I think is really cool, very premium-esque. We also have a really massive rear trunk space here, power rear tailgate, really huge rear trunk space, and of course the front is equally just as big as well, and even more storage down there. So never short on cargo space for the Lucid Air. You don't even need an SUV in that aspect. And again, it shuts up like that. Awesome. And now this one does have the duotone roof and body. Of course, you can get the roof actually in body color, or in the Stealth package. It's a really cool kind of metallic blacked out package. This one does have the glass roof. The base Pure models won't have the glass roof. It'll actually be aluminum, and you also can see this is how you know which Air you have, by saying this badge inside. This one says Touring. Really cool little feature there. Now the Air also has pop-out door handles. It's a really nice feature. So they will be flush with the body when the vehicle is off. And you can see all the cameras around the vehicle, on the mirrors, on the sides of the vehicle as well, for the 360 cameras, and all the adaptive kind of safety systems as well. On the side, you're going to find your charging port right here, so you can just kind of tap it to open it, and it will do a little dance to open itself. Of course, you can charge it up super quickly like this, and just kind of tapping it should close it up a little bit. There you go. Now, these wheels actually have aerodynamic covers on them, and there's a few different wheel options, so you can kind of pull these off and pop them off, but that's a really cool feature. There are bigger wheel options and smaller wheel options. The smaller wheel options are going to get you better range. While this one isn't the Grand Touring, the Touring still gets over 430 miles of range in its max kind of range specification, which is pretty impressive actually. The Grand Touring can do over 500 miles of range actually in its smallest wheel configuration, which is really incredible. Longest range EV sedan in the market. Now up front is my favorite part of the Lucid Air. I really do like the new Stealth package that blacks out this trim, though. It's a really cool front end. Some cool stuff is that this badge is actually LED illuminated, if you can see up close right there. You also have this really cool thin LED light strip across the whole front of the Air, and then you have your main projector LED beam headlights right here. Now these headlights actually get so hot. This vent right here is actually a cooling heat sink for the headlights. So air passes underneath here, flows through over a heatsink over the headlights, and actually cools the headlights down because they get so hot, because it's so much technology going on in them, which is really cool. Again, more cameras, radar sensors all up front, LED strips on the side for your fog lights, and you do have some air passing through over there. I just think it's a really cool looking shape. And of course, you have that massive pane of glass that kind of, it's like a Tesla Model X, where it just kind of covers the entire front end of the vehicle. Really cool stuff. But let's go check out the interior, because this is a really fantastic space. And I think this is where a lot of people are going to be spending most of their time. Okay, guys, so getting into a Lucid Air, you do have the key fob right here, which is pretty tiny, but you can use your phone as well. And again, you can just walk up to the car to get into it. Super easy. I'm going to take you guys to the back seats first, and because they are absolutely massive. Now, all the Lucids have a duotone theme interior actually. I'm sorry, wait a second, hold up. I have soft closed doors. Thank you. There we go. Nice luxurious feature there. All Lucids come in duotone interiors. There are different color combinations, but this one has the darker leather up front with the tan stitching, and back here you have tan stitching with tan leather with dark stitching and piping, which is really cool, contrasting of a feature. And since this is the Touring model, it has actually a smaller battery pack. And because it is a smaller battery pack, you actually have way more legroom back here because the two modules that sit back here have been removed. So they're kind of flatter, so you have a way more legroom actually going in the depth part of it, not necessarily lengthwise, but in depth you have more leg space. And you can definitely notice it in the Grand Touring. You feel like your feet are a little bit higher, but I actually quite like this a lot. You have a lot of space back here too, so pretty roomy, and there's no hump in the center, so you kind of just slide across. You have a little screen back here for your heated seats for all three seats back here, and as well as your climate controls, which is really cool. And you have little climate vents for that. Build quality in here is actually pretty solid. I haven't noticed any weird discrepancies or anything back here, so that's pretty nice. Door panels, again, nice big panels of this stitched leather material. We do have sunshades. I believe those are power, so I can probably push a button somewhere. There you go. And those will go down and up, which is really nice. You also have a rear sunshade back there as well that can be powered as well. And nice leather grab handles back here. LED illumination as well, which is really nice. And some speaker tweeters up here, which is a good feature as well. Both rear seats do have little cargo storage stuff, though it's a little odd. It's a hard panel wrapped in leather, so I think only paper things might really fit back there. So not sure what that design choice was, but you do have it there as an option. Some more vents and that incredible roof right there that gets you all of that beautiful light to come in. It is UV coated and tinted as well, so it will be protected from the sun mostly, but I do really like how that view is just absolutely incredible. I also love the backs of the seats. It has this nice fabric material back here. You see the California bear right there, which is kind of Lucid's signature logo right there when they're putting on a lot of their stuff, which I think is a really cool, neat little touch, just like how Volvo puts their little Sweden flags on the side of their seats. And now you can get a quick overview of this awesome front interior space that we're gonna go take a closer look at right now. But just take in this incredible space, guys. It is a very roomy interior. I'm very impressed. And check out, this is actually an ambient lighting strip through the entire center spine, almost like in a Bugatti or something. Really cool stuff. But now let's go hop outside. Getting out of the Lucid, there's actually a little pull here, and if you pull it even harder back, it's a manual release, but otherwise it's a soft electric release. And again, we have soft closed doors on all four doors. Love that. Very nice, luxurious feature. Coming into the front, again, we got that same material on the door panels. And here you're going to find some more of that cloth material, which is really nice. You can see the open pore wood inlays on the doors as well. Really nice, very premium touch. You can get to see the different color seats up front. Let's hop inside. Is that a caterpillar? We have a little caterpillar friend joining us. I'm going to let him be. This is a really fantastic space to be. The car is on, there's no start stop button, so it kind of operates more like a Tesla or a Volvo EV, where you just hop in and go with your key. Illuminated side switches, which is really nice, and the same mechanism to unlock and lock the doors. Even this lower panel is wrapped in leather, so no cheap materials in here at all, which I really find fantastic. You have Lucid's signature steering wheel design here, so it's kind of like this flat bottom steering with a very thick bottom piece right there, stitched airbag cover, and you have these controls over here to control volume and tuning stuff as well. You have your controls for your adaptive cruise control and lane centering assist right here, which are nice. Some track forwarding and voice control buttons right here. That's pretty much it. It's a very simplistic steering wheel. It's okay. I'm not the biggest fan of the shape of the design of it, but you know, it gets the job done at the end of the day. It is a steering wheel, but I would prefer something a little bit different in shape wise. You have your wiper stalks and stuff right here, and over here, this is actually how you put it into reverse, neutral, and drive. Very Tesla-esque looking column shifter. Well, of course they don't have that anymore, but I actually prefer this versus some touch panel thing actually. And then we have to talk about this massive floating display. This is a way nicer display implementation that I've seen in other EVs. It's really cool how it's literally just like floating on the dashboard. Really hot to the touch actually, but nonetheless, it is pretty cool looking. On your left-hand panel, you're always gonna have this stuff here. So you have your charging door opener and charging information. You can open the frunk, light controls, headlight controls, and that's pretty much it. That's always gonna be there for you to access. And then you have your digital dash up here, which hasn't been having too much information actually. I think they're gonna be updating over time to add more information that can be displayed up here. But you have your range, some like radio controls that always say air right there, and of course your speed and regenerative braking meter right there in front of you. So that's pretty cool. Then you have your infotainment, well, part of your infotainment display, which is right here. It does have Apple CarPlay integration now, so that's very nice. You have your map right there, music controls, as well as some phone controls and stuff as well. And then you can add some more like home systems as well. But this screen works in tandem with this lower screen. So let's say if I'm on a mapping system right here, I think I'm able to swipe it down to this lower, yeah, there you go. So I can swipe them up to each other, which is really fun. I could do that all day, actually. So if you want that down there, if you want it bigger, you can do that. So some of the different screens will have that option as well, which is, I think, pretty fun. So I can do that with the radio too. I just swipe it down. Oh, that's actually really addicting. And this has gotten a lot better over time. It's been improved with the speed and the software and everything. So good job for Lucid for improving that. And down here is a lot of your main controls, in addition to some hard buttons for climate controls, which is really nice as well. I believe this is a volume rocker knob right there, which is really cool. Down here, you kind of have your main center console control here. So you have your openings to kind of control all your vehicle opening stuff, seat controls, which is endless amount of controls. So this could take forever to kind of get you into that profile, but you can save it, which is cool. Interior ambient lighting themes, which I think is really cool to kind of play with. You can see that will change on that spine up there, which is really, really fun. You have your charging information as well. You can start preconditioning, opening the charge port, set charge limit, all that stuff. And then down here, you have additional climate control settings. So that's all here, and that's an extension of these hard buttons that you have. I'm not going to get into everything right now, but you have heated ventilated seats, heated steering wheel, automatic climate control, all that fun stuff. Endless more settings within the settings screen as well. So again, this could take a long time to get used to. Then I love this 360 camera, which is really high resolution, high definition as well. And you kind of scroll around the entire Lucid Air, which is fantastic. Parking sensors as well. So a lot of high-tech stuff in this car, which is fantastic. Then if I scroll up this button right here, the screen will move up. And then you have all of this extra storage space under here. And I can just pull the screen back down just like that, which is a really fun little quirky feature. But you do have more storage back there, again, with that nice premium textile fabric up there. You also have more storage in this wood-lined center console here. And I believe you have two wireless charging, or one wireless charging mat over here, more storage, 2 cup holders. And you get more storage in this little center console here. A little California Bear logo right there as well. So yeah, there's a lot of storage in the Air. And you also do get a glove box as well. So that's a nice feature to still have. Some cars are actually getting rid of glove boxes. Nice stitching on the dashboard, and we have a nice Alcantara micro suede lined headliner and these floating mirrors, right, or side mirrors as well, which is really nice. So that is the interior of this particular Lucid Air. I want to take this on a drive now, because that's where the fun thing is really at. That's 620 horsepower, dual motor all-wheel drive, and a sprint mode. So we'll check out the 0 to 60 too. Let's dive into that right now. Okay guys, off we go in the Lucid Air. Now that's actually the slowest setting. Popping into Swift, you're gonna unlock more power. That's, woo! It has a nice punch to it, I can tell you that. And the Air drives really, really well. And like I said, there's no air suspension or any kind of like crazy suspension tech, but they tuned it really well. It feels solid, planted, and it handles very, very well. I'm very impressed with that. The steering, it's not the most connected feeling thing on the planet, but you do know where you're pointing the car most times, which is a nice thing to feel. Hold on, I'm just trying to find a nice little spot for you guys to do a little bit of a launch. So I know everyone wants to see that. And it's fun because Lucid's theme is like this little California Bear, and that's what their launch control actually looks like. This is where I did it before. So we're gonna pop into sprint mode. It's gonna give you almost like a waiver. And there is an official launch mode, which we'll see right now. See the California Bear pop up right there, launch mode, and let's go. Oh my gosh. Oh, that one was painful. Well, there you guys go. There's a launch in a Lucid Air. Oh my gosh, I actually just got like thrown back into the seat. It has power, it has a lot of kick into it, and it will get up and go, but it also has that capability of being able to handle well. Love those side cameras. Oh, and you know, like I said, this is a big luxury sedan, but it handles itself well. And for not having like an air suspension with which a lot of its competitors do have, we're going over, like, I've been driving over this road and a lot of cars the entire day, and I've been in like everything at this point, and I've been having some horrible experiences with ride quality. And for this thing to be going over this with for its like kind of like more static suspension system, it's impressive. It dampens bumps well while being able to kind of like handle and control the vehicle really well. So they did a good job on the front, and the sound insulation in here is incredible. It's very quiet. I haven't experienced any like wind noise stuff, and I've driven a few EVs today and they've all been pretty quiet, but this one, it's kind of almost eerily quiet, or it's like one of those where you can hear yourself like thinking almost kind of quiet sometimes, unless you kind of hear some electric motor whir going on. But I do like it though. It is pretty nice. My literally main complaint of this car actually is the steering wheel. I just don't like it so much. I don't know why, because I tend to hold my steering wheel here, not necessarily up here all the time, even though people say you're supposed to hold it up there. And I don't know, it's just like there's too much thickness here, because not only do you have the steering wheel, but you also have this little chunky piece on the side as well. I don't know, not my favorite thing, but you'll get used to it if you are driving this car a lot. Now we are still in sprint mode, so we all got that power going on, and going around the corner, wow, it's got a punch. It really does have a punch, this thing. Holy cow. And you know, by doing these runs, you can see the range just dropping like crazy. Wow, they're going through corners. Okay, so some more thoughts on the driving experience, guys. I'm learning as we're going, but it really does handle itself well. You have a lot of confidence in these corners, because you know, the all-wheel drive grip, you got that low center of gravity from the battery pack, and you do actually have less weight in this one than the Grand Touring, because you are getting rid of those big kind of cells in the back, and it does feel a little bit nimbler to drive actually. Because I did drive a Grand Touring last year. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to film it, but wow. As you can tell, guys, I'm having a fun time here. Well, this does drive well. It handles itself well. I have to say, it handles itself way better than the BMW XM I was just driving today. This is really good. So if you guys want to go drive a Lucid Air, if you can find a Lucid studio near you, definitely go check one of those out. You can sign up for a test drive. They're very willing to do test drives. There's also a lot of like media events throughout the country that they're doing as well, to encourage people to kind of try out the Lucid Airs. And I would say go out and do it. This thing is a blast to drive. And you know, you'll see things on the internet about, you know, some technology things not working, and that's for a lot of the earlier cars. They've kind of worked out a lot of the kinks with software updates, over-the-air software updates, and these systems have actually gotten quicker with over-the-air software updates, not even like hardware changes, so that's pretty impressive. And now we have Apple CarPlay functionality as well, so you can throw that on there. I think over time that's going to expand more throughout the interior, especially with Apple's new kind of CarPlay setup that they're introducing. So we're still in Swift mode, by the way. I'm going to put it back into smooth. And it does relax a little bit. You get way more regen in smooth mode as well, as you can feel that there. Now that beeping you're hearing, I believe you can turn that off. That's just a speed indicator. So if you're going over the speed limit, it'll beep like, hey, that's the speed limit, guys. But, you know, put the automatic headlights back on for you there too. I almost want more noise in here actually. It's like eerily quiet. My ears are like popping from the crazy speeds that we're doing, on top of just the quietness in here. There's a little minor wind noise right here ish, a little bit. I mean, like it's a little windy out today, so it's a little bit of a minor wind noise, but it almost has like this vault-like feel to it. You know, driving a Tesla, I've driven a lot of Teslas now. I do like them. I do like them as a car, but they lack that vault-like solidity that this has, and like a lot of like more like established German gas vehicles have. I don't want to say it, but it's a very noticeable thing. There is like this heft, and not even like actual physical weight, but like almost like a luxurious heft that you feel in the car. What do we say? Do we do another launch, guys? I think we do another launch, because that was crazy. Oh, that actually put me back into my seat. Okay, you guys ready for another launch? Sprint mode. Confirm we're in sprint mode. Launch control. And we go. Oh, that actually makes me sick. Okay, no more launch controls, God. Oh, people say that these EV launches will make them sick. Once you experience it in a really high power EV with a proper launch mode, oh, I get what they mean. It takes your breath away sometimes. And you have to remember, this is not the most powerful Lucid Air. You can go for the Grand Touring Performance, which has like 1,000-something horsepower. And then they even have one above that now coming called the Sapphire. I can't even imagine how fast those things are. It is pretty incredible. Speed and fun stuff aside, I do actually really like the Lucid Air, and it's unfortunate that it's not like, you know, the biggest thing that's catching on in the market right now. Sedans are the most popular thing, especially high-priced EV sedans. But I'm really hoping that Lucid pushes through. They have a lot of fantastic technology. I didn't even start talking about their technology. Everything they have is in-house, you know? They used to develop stuff for the Formula E teams as well. Battery technology and motor technology and like these power technology packs. And I think they just have a new one too they just unveiled. They're the only people using a 900 volt EV architecture for the battery systems. And essentially what that means is you have that incredible ability to charge at these really high rates, so you can kind of quick charge the vehicle. It's similar to an 800 volt system. This is just an even higher voltage system. But that all depends on the charging network you're able to find. If you can find a 350 kilowatt hour charger, you know, that works, then you can experience those speeds. But as we all know, that is an issue. Driver monitoring unavailable. So that's because I have the camera on my head right now. There's little sensors right there that'll reach your eyes. I'm sorry, there's nothing wrong with the car, guys. It's just my camera on my head. But nonetheless, I'm really pleasantly surprised by the Lucid Air. This is a really fun vehicle to drive. Wow. And at the end of the day, it's still a luxury performance car too. Oh, I'm sorry, a luxury vehicle first too. So the fact that it has this capability and dynamics to it is really impressive. And I hope all of this characteristics is able to translate over to their upcoming Gravity SUV, which I was told it should be in production early 2024. They already, oh look, this is incredible, turning it. No rear steering either. This is good. This is a good car. Good job, Lucid. And with that regen too, I'm sorry I'm going off track, but with that regen too, you can kind of like play with it. I'm not even pushing on the brakes now. We're slowing down, gaining some range. Oh, this is a good driving car. Wow, I'm really impressed. Anyways, the Gravity SUV is going to be their next big thing, and hopefully that's going to really propel the brand to even better heights down in the future. Nonetheless, okay, sorry guys, my camera died, so I'm gonna use my phone for a hot second. But nonetheless, you guys need to go test out one of these things on the road, have fun with it, because it is a absolute monster. Thank you, Lucid, for letting us drive this today. And wow, I need to take a second to breathe. But this is the Lucid Air Touring, guys. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more coming from Allcarnews.